Still bystanders at newsstands on Flip TV, still at the newsstands, keeping it real on this platform. Michael Adekunle taking you on today's edition of this program. Let's see what we have on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper. COVID-19, federal government halts schools resumption, stops WAEC. Federal government halts schools resumption, stops WAEC. Adamu, you would rather lose a year than exposing children to danger. We rather lose a year than exposing children to danger. That's what Adamu is saying here. Our schools will only open when we believe it's safe for our children, not when the incidence of the infection is going up in the nation. We will not open schools for examination or for any reason unless it is safe for our children, says Minister of Education Adamu. Okay, moving on to other stories on the front page of this journal. On Magu, EFCC chairman, Magu goes the way of predecessors. Magu goes the way of predecessors. Presidency names Umar as acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. PDP demands prosecution. Reps grill ICPC boss over purchase of used vehicles. 2 soldiers, 17 ISWAP fighters killed in Brno, says army. Okay, 7 oil workers die as explosion rocks NNPC facility. Let's see another story on the front page of this same journal. Our party as domestic flight resume in Lagos, Abuja. On to the next one. The Vanguard. Very interesting stories on the front page of the Vanguard. The major headline, it reads, Day 3, more posers for Magu. More posers for Magu to account for 380 houses seized. 7 vessels loaded with crude oil. Disposal of assets worth 37 billion naira. Pressure on for civilian to head EFCC. Pressure on for civilian to head EFCC. Moving on to reopening of schools. Schools not reopening anytime soon, says federal government. Alright, let's quickly join our reviewers for more talks on these stories. I'll be right back.
In 1972, Alade Market was built. A prestigious market to meet varieties of clothing and household items. 34 years later, it was very necessary to rebuild this market. By 2016, the market was demolished. A temporary site was built for the construction of a new Alade shopping complex. Today, we announce the commencement of the construction of the new Alade shopping complex, situated on the same Allen Avenue, Ikeja. It's an 8 block of 42 shops, a total of 336 shops, in a conducive environment, enough car park, and all services attendant. The sizes of the shops are from 12 square meters to 60 square meters, located at the corner piece of Allen Avenue Junction. The ground shop rent goes for 75,000 naira per square meter, while the first floor rent goes for 50,000 naira per square meter. Early subscribers enjoy a 30% discount under the fixed rental income investment, while later subscribers enjoy an instrumental payment payable within 12 months.
You see, of course, the henchman of EFCC has been under detention for 3 days now. Well, for me, I think he has to face his fate, and we keep on believing that with time we get to know more about the situation. But then, you see, virtually every ministry in Nigeria is corrupt. So Magu is not an exemption. The, the military is corrupt. The military has lost their say. The military were known to be disciplined and upholds integrity. Now they have been infiltrated. So there are also gross misconduct and high level of corruption going on in military. You can see of recent that, or is it yesterday, that over some scores of soldiers were killed. Why? Because some of them are crying they don't have ammunition to fight Boko Haram. And billions has been done out to acquire, secure these ammunitions. What happens to those billions of dollars? Nobody has accounted for that. Even the army chief and the service chief, they should be held accountable as well. If truly the fight against corruption is holistic, if it is not meant to entangle or implicate just a few supposed or perceived enemies of this administration. And one again, Magu, of course, as I said, is it in oil sector? Is it in a corporate sector? There are endemic corruption which have not been addressed, and people are crying loud. Is it the Bullen Van saga? Nobody has talked about that. Our funds have been misappropriated. Nobody is accounting for that. Look at so many money that is meant for the capital projects. Nobody accounts for that. And of course, this system, we believe that the yet is better to be seen, because it's unfortunate that we have to blame the Nigerian situation, especially as it borders on our education sector, to COVID-19. Prior to this time, Nigerian education system has been in shambles. Of course, you could recall that the Academic Union of Staffs of universities have been in strike before the COVID-19 pandemic strike. Then, of course, it's quite unfortunate that Nigerian students should suffer such brunt, while most of our schools are in a dilapidated state, and there's no good studying condition for environment for the students. And now that the federal government have come to make his position known that, of course, there won't be school academic year for this year again, that could send a very bad signal to our education system. You see, if well managed, I mean, students should have returned to their classes to continue their studies. Of course, over there abroad, of which most of our serving politicians, serving elected people within the corridor of power have their children abroad. Their schools and studies were not interrupted. Of course, they have a very sustainable and substantial internet system, and most of them have returned to their classroom and continued their studies without being interrupted. But for us here, down here in Nigeria, is a different story. Maybe they could say as a result of the pandemic, look, virtually every sector, the parents and the mothers are out fending for the children. They will still, at the end of the day, return back to the house. And so if this pandemic is what is assume the dimension we are claiming, virtually everybody would have been a victim, would have been indoors by now. But for me, it is quite unfortunate. Of course, I have already made up my mind looking for another alternative to keep life moving. And I pray that God will give me the opportunity and, of course, source the fund for me to go into business, because at this time we are not returning back to the classroom. And of course, it will have some adverse effects on the Nigerian students. Losing 1 year, it is not 1 day, it is not one, it's a complete section. So it will have an adverse effect. Of course, most people will resort, and in the long run, most academic inclined, especially the teachers, will have to shift from academic environment, and which will also have an adverse effect in our education sector. Why? If you lose the people that should tutor, that you teach, that you man our such academic responsibility, is it the roadside mechanics or technician that will take such, or because why they feel vulnerable in under these circumstances, and of course they have to continue to feed their family. And it's unfortunate that the minister could say that if we lose 1 year, it is nothing. It is quite unfortunate. Of course, they have no interest in Nigerian education, and that is what you could see.
I think he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. Now, looking at Magu and the circumstances surrounding his travel, personally, it has so many dimensions. Because to start with, actually, there is nothing wrong in probing any person, as long as the probe is being done within the ambits of the law, as long as the person's rights are not being violated. If you hold any position of authority, you should know that there is a time of stewardship. There is a time where you will be made to answer for what you have done. So to that extent, there is nothing wrong in probing if there was an allegation of corruption. There is nothing wrong in probing his activities. But again, if you look at the allegations that are being levied against him, that the Minister of the Attorney General of the Federation wrote petition atomizing some areas of perhaps he have misconducted himself. One, I think it has to do with living above his means. Then secondly, it has to do with hobnobbing with people who are alleged to be corrupt. Then another one is, there's another allegation I read yesterday that has to do with selling or releasing about 157 tankers that were seized by the Port Harcourt office of EFCC under mysterious circumstances. Now, looking at those allegations, it is good he is investigated. But another thing I'm seeing is, it seems as if all these, because there's another angle to it, where they said he has some properties in Dubai that he may not be able to account for. Now, I do not see any strange or any new allegation other from all the allegations that he was accused in 2016, 2017, when the A Senate, when Bukola Saraki was the head of the National Assembly in the A Senate, which made them to refuse his confirmation for 2 times. Now again, I've read where Sirab have said that they see this thing as power play at the highest level of governance. I continue to see merit in that argument, because I begin to ask, if actually this man was denied confirmation twice by A Senate, and all these allegations were in place, and this government did not see anything wrong in what Senate was doing, why is it that it's today that waking up to that responsibility? But get me right, what I'm saying is without prejudice to whatever will come out of that investigation. I'm not holding brief for him, but I'm saying that this might not be unconnected with 2023 politics, and this might not be, the reason I'm worried is this: it is not until you want to achieve an aim, it is not until Mr. A step on your toe that he does his file to make a media trial of the person, or to even try that person legitimately. Corruption fight should be a holistic thing. The other day I cited Onohe's case, that since Onohe was removed by Code of Conduct Tribunal, where a civil liberty organization wrote a petition against him, we have not seen Code of Conduct Tribunal or Code of Conduct Bureau coming up with another issue of that manner. So it looks as if it is selective prosecution, it looks as if it is persecution. But what I'm saying is, Anti-corruption is supposed to be supposed to have well-established institutions that operate with or without government interference. Because if eventually Magu is found wanting and fired, perhaps prosecuted, is good step in the right direction. But let it not be because there is an agenda they want to achieve for 2023. Because until if they eventually convict him, maybe prosecute him and convict him or otherwise, and we see such effort of government in high profile cases like that, not because there is an agenda of government or because they want to bring somebody down, then I will see government are being serious. In as much as I support anti-corruption, in as much as I want government to fight anti-corruption headlong, in as much as I want all corrupt personalities to be prosecuted and convicted, it should be done within the ambit of the law, and it should not be seen as a victimization. Because I can tell you, at a time when I saw federal government or EFC going after some personalities after 2015, 2019 election, I knew why. When I saw EFCC knocking at the door of Olisemetu, I knew why. I later saw them knocking at the door of Fayose, I knew why. I saw them knocking at the door of Raymond Depesi, I knew why. I don't want to have issues, I don't want to have circumstances where I will preempt to say this is the reason you are coming after this person. Let it be a holistic thing. We also the manner Mena was being shielded by powers that be in the system. Good enough, luckily he's been docked. But going forward, this selective prosecution is not healthy for our democracy. In a sane society, it doesn't work like that. Anybody that is perceived to be corrupt is being investigated and prosecuted, not minding whose ours is God. That is how you operate in a sane society, in a democratic environment. Not, and I want to tell you that after this Magu issue, except otherwise, this government have waken up to its responsibility and want to fight corruption headlong. I want to tell you that after this issue, you may not see any high-profile personality being prosecuted until there is another agenda to achieve an aim to bring another person down, perhaps because of 2023 or because of power calculation. So it's not healthy for our democracy.
May he not be glorified in the name of his son Yehoshua. Now, if we come to the issue that at ground now, this is not the first time we have been having this type of thing in Nigeria. But it's a pity. A person who you trusted something in his hand come back to be a thief of what you give to him to keep. Our people said that which means it's not good for a dog to chew the bone you hang on his neck. You carry bone and hang dog on his neck. How can dog be able to turn again? The thing is on his neck to chew it again. That dog is a bad dog. It's a proverb. Now, Magu, the way he bubble up, the way he jump up under APC government that force him there without the people's wish, I don't think that he should allow himself to fall into this mess. He should keep his hand clean and pure, because you know that he has enemies right from the day of his birth as a EFC chairman, as acting for 5 years, getting to 6 years. He should have mind his own business and play his game well. Now look at it. House in Dubai, money that he cannot be able to account, 7 vessels of oil, vessels loaded of oil on the high sea. Is he a member of an NPC? Is he a shell worker, mobile worker, chevron worker? What is he doing with those ships? Which means he used his position to do what? To force those people to allow him to make his way, to make him rich himself. And tomorrow we say Nigeria don't have money, we are borrowing money. The 7 vessels, when he sold it, will be in some pocket. They should question him more. Maybe he have sold the 100 vessels before we know this one. They should check him more and check other people more. Fine. This is to show you that this present government is a failure also. When they took power in 2015, they spent 6 months selecting senators, selecting ministers, and the people you give portfolio, and told us we come out with the right people. Now this is the right people, he can come out from them. Which means the government is a failure himself. You don't know what he chooses, you don't know what he's doing. To me, I want the school to be reopened because there's no coronavirus in Nigeria. If coronavirus in Nigeria, we could have died. We know how many millions, that thousands. America died up to something, 100-something thousand. Italy like that, German like that, Spain like that. Even Turkey, I had a day up to 500,000. How many have we died? When somebody die a normal death in Nigeria, they go and film it and tell us coronavirus killed the person. And I'm very sorry that the same Minister of Education who came last time and told us that there's no coronavirus in Nigeria, today again, speaking again, that for the sake of coronavirus, the school should not open. He was the one that shouting before that school should open. There's no coronavirus. Now they have shut up his mouth. They have settled him with some ijere, some money, some kudi or ego. Now the man start speaking with a double tongue. Oh, Nigeria is a pity that we cannot have a person who will stand up and tell us one word for at least 1 month, tell us the truth and stand on that truth at least for 1 month. This will show you that Nigerian leaders are a bunch of liars. To show you that they can change, they can twist, they can mend themselves at any time. And do you know why they don't want another sense? They don't want school to open because the people are really lost are Nigerians, people who don't go to school. Our president, so-called our president, what is your certificate? So they want to turn every Nigerians to be a Nigerian who don't go to school. That's why they are suspending us, to bring the whole people down to their own level, so that all of them will be equal, will be non-entity. Okay, if the children did not go to school up to 1 year now, because the year is over, then how can they manage to succeed? Which means those people that are able to pass and are not able to pass, all of them will be given automatic promotion, which is very unfair. And remind you, not only now that the Nigerian education system is bad, Nigerian education system started getting bad during the time of Babangida. When Jibril Aminu was Minister of Education, he killed our educational system. Jibril Aminu destroyed our education system. Minister of Education, Professor Jibril Aminu. When he was sent to NNPC to be an NNPC chairman or Minister of Petroleum, he destroyed NNPC. 2 ministers he hold, ministry posts he hold during Babangida era, he destroyed all them. No, Babangida did not destroy it, but it was him. Babangida did not send him there to destroy it. But because of his own slackness, he's not understanding. How many books have he read or have he wrote that made him to be a professor? So if you watch it, the people that are ruling Nigeria right from time are non-entity. The one who don't know how to read and write, he went to Abuja conference and mess up. Let them come back home and carry gun. Therefore, they want every part of Nigeria to be useless people, to be non-entity, to be ignorant of Western education. That's why they are promoting Boko Haram.
Magu case is just a beginning of the problem coming to many politicians. I will call their name, even like person like Jagaban of Lagos State, person like other people, Alegbe Shora, person like, because I would have called Ajimobi, but he have rest in peace. Those are the people, Oshomole and Co. Godswill Akpabio, Obani Koro. Those people, Magu is a he have failed in everywhere. Because those are the people that he will have invited as an ESCC chairman. You find out the allegation of the masses. What did you have to say about? Thank God they show him what is happening to Maguna is just an example. They want to use it to show him that this is what you will have done. But you couldn't do it because you are receiving, they are dashing you money, and the money you receive, a hotel money, you chop it. You use it to buy property in Dubai. And you are still fighting somebody. When you see somebody dress well, buy new car, you go and invent the house. Say the person is what? You want to know how the person make the money. And now you have not tell us how you make your own money. You take Nigerian money and make it your personal property. You use the money to buy property in Dubai, and thank God that because some people say maybe the president hand is not in Magu case, but the order come for the DSS to arrest Magu is from above. It's order from above to investigate the EFCC chairman, because if you don't understand, there is some key point that the people want Magu to touch. He have not touched it, and that's why they want to show him example. As an EFCC chairman, this is what you should have done. You cannot allow one man to carry 2 ballot van in during election to his house, to his compound. Until today, EFCC chairman sit down in the office, have nothing to say about the issue, and they want the issue to die like that. He can't die. Look at yesterday, the protest in Abuja. Many people may not talk about it. They protest because of the issue. The new EFCC should investigate the issue. Nigeria are waiting to hear the outcome of that matter, because we are not fool. Some people will just trade in the life of other people. What is that? And the EFCC chairman is just sitting there in office, doing nothing, stealing our money. All the money he received from the looters, they make sure that they looters. They call them looters and nowhere to be found. The money is nowhere to be found. Use it to acquire property in Dubai in different ways. He calls himself EFCC, fighting corruption. He looking somebody that dress where he say you are Yahoo Yahoo. He will investigate you, he begin to come and disturb people. And now the thing have come. I'm very happy. The situation of Magu on ground. That is what I expect to happen to many of them. That thing should happen to many of them, and let them know. Even though if I'm a EFCC chairman, by this stage of this government, the president will be proved to tell us what is their borrowed money. The money have been borrowed, what is he doing with it? He have been borrowing money since Buhari started from 2015. Have been borrowing money. The EFCC have nothing to talk about it, and the country is suffering. Everybody is suffering. Look at how people are moving up and down, no job, and what do you expect people to do? And now, what you are hearing, there is no school rejunction, because the president wants everybody to turn to Arimajiri, to turn to herdsmen, carry gun, walking on the road. If that is what they want, and what I want to talk now is that education minister of state, I mean, what did they call him, that was crying that there is no coronavirus. Why is he not stopping school for resuming? Because they have given money, he have collect bribe, he have take what it will take to feed the family. See, most of those our leaders, it will not better for them. Most of those our educational system leaders, what did they call them? I don't want to know. They are all criminal. And thank God for the move. What is happening to Magu, it will happen to everybody. Let them bear it in mind that all of them will soon be arrested.
And on this note, we say goodbye to you on today's edition of Bystanders at Newsstand on Flip TV. Endeavor to join us next time at this same newsstand. Michael Adekunle still remains my name. Behind the camera, Festus Oluwabukomi. Have a good day, everyone.
Audio Jungle.